Specific implications for the library?
Not at this time, no. I think that would be filtered in through us at the time when we are moving forward with renovation. So,
Nobody's asking us to,
no.
for our opinion?
Not yet. But
All right, thank you. Item 8, unfinished business, report on community engagement and responsiveness.
Absolutely.
Rebecca?
So I want to highlight 3 areas that we're summarily looking at. One is our direct response to the specific concerns that we heard in our meetings and in our public sessions that we had. We're really trying to understand the community concerns that way. We're trying to enhance our community engagement and our listening and how our community is identifying and engaging in those concerns and those perceptions, use that information to drive how we look at what we're doing in Northfield and Winnetka. And then internally as a staff, we're having a dialogue about how we are looking at our priorities, our practices, our internal monologue of what we believe in, what our values are. So the ways that we did look at this in October, just to kind of start with what we're working on currently and what we are working on as we go forward. In regards to our direct, am I talking loud enough? Okay, sorry. In response to our direct responses to the specific concerns in the meetings and the listening sessions. The first thing is we really heard the community to the point of renovation. We are putting that renovation on hold right now. We want to work on our community relationship. We want to understand the needs of the community, and we're really looking at making sure that we engage and discuss what needs to be done at Northfield. Right now, you'll see more of my management team and myself at Northfield. So we're being visibly more there. We're putting our rotational schedule has been adjusted to have Margie and Sydney at Northfield so that you have a more familiar face, and that making sure that we have someone that will walk hand in hand with new staff and introduce you, and hopefully you feel like you're getting to know everyone there. And we have a dedicated Northfield Branch Services Coordinator. Courtney Volney is in place, and she is there and will be fireside chatting. For those of you who came to Studio Fest, she also taught us how to crochet cookies, and then it was really cool. It was really neat. I learned to crochet, so I was very happy with that. And really, we're trying to engage the community and really understand from those meetings and those concerns what we're trying to get to is that we're present, we're available, and that we're really taking our time with our renovation. The second part is that enhanced community engagement, that really getting out with the community, meeting with the community leaders, having the fireside chat so we can get to know people and hear some of the responses. We're working on having some presentations and workshops to show you how the library works, as some of our trustees have suggested. And we're excited about that. We're trying to figure some of that out, even from how we do collection management to just how we do what we do, the voodoo we do at library. And one of the things that we're really excited about and bringing online that was a suggestion from one of our community leaders was to commit to a community advisory group, and that this group would come together to help us understand the community of Northfield and work together to understand the Winnetka-Northfield community needs. So we're hoping that, with the positive feedback we're getting from our village leaders and our community members, that translates to making sure that we are listening to the feedback so we can integrate it into what our plan is. So we've discussed with them what their high satisfaction or their satisfaction was with the library, what we could do better, how we could communicate, and so that's something we're working on with them. We're actually going to be meeting with our North Shore Senior Center to look how we can partner with them, including connecting with our other sister libraries with them. And the fireside chats are honestly it's really about making ourselves known to the community, making ourselves feel like we understand the community of Northfield, and just have some fun too. Sorry, I want to make sure I get to everything. The other part that we're really working on is to have an internal staff dialogue really talking about our priorities, our values, how we align with each other and openly discuss what's going on in the district and the libraries. We want to make sure that our team is on the same page for how we deliver service, how we talk to each other, how we think about things. We are definitely, having that HR person here to help us with this process is invaluable, and it's something that we as a staff appreciate. One of our goals in this, and one of our objectives and goals with this is to develop a statement of staff priorities for this. So that's something we're really, really working for. And that's an ongoing process, of course, but we are really excited about, coming up with that. And regarding, our commitment and the initiative of staff on the front line to service our customers with appropriateness, openness, and transparency. We did look at data from the last 6 years. We did look at our turnover ratio. I did talk to other libraries. And what I will say is, from our perspective, about 80% of our turnover is from positive things, like going from a part-time to full-time job, looking to better perform in their career. We have people that have moved on to management positions, retiring, which I think is a great, I one day hope to get there. And also for, the idea that we do hire temporary staff, that we do have staff that come for the summer and work here, and that we do have high school students and other opportunities. As far as involuntary people who have left, who have not done so voluntarily, there have been 5. That is the number. The Bureau of Labor Statistics recently put out that for our industry, the turnover ratio is 38%. Our ratio is 25% overall. That's an average of 6 years. Conducting and talking about with our sister libraries, we are at par or better than what is happening in library land. That's just at base. And that doesn't mean that we're satisfied with that. That doesn't mean we're not wanting to look at what our packages are, what our pay is, how we can better perform with retention, but that is something that is just the fact of the matter. And we do want to keep conferring with our fellow library directors and fellow colleagues in both our consortium and through Illinois. So one of the things that I just want to make sure that we mention is that we care deeply about our community engagement. We want to make sure we're out there, that we're familiar faces, that we can listen to what our community members are saying and come up with plans and strategies that address the concerns of the community. And our staff as well. The importance of having the staff that delivers these tremendous programs, such as the Studio Fest and One Book, Two Villages, and everything else from story time to everything else we do. So we value our high customer service satisfaction ratings, and we want to make sure that that continues. And we're on the continual quest for improvement. That's where we're at right now. So that was October. And of course, I can answer questions if I left anything out. Please let me know.
I have a question. Who do we consider sister libraries?
Sister libraries, for the sake of, would be libraries either of similar size or of, like Wilmette would be a sister, Fox River Valley would be considered a sister, in our consortia would be considered a sister.
And how many of those did you contact about their data?
So far, I've heard from 6. So 6.
And were they looking at 6 years as well, or did they just give you the last year?
They gave me usually about the last 4 years.
Okay.
And so we discussed too the idea of whether they kept their temporary staff in their data set or not, or how they looked at, I talked to Richard Kong at Skokie Public Library, we discussed it, and they're just such a big library. But even so, they look at 19%, and then they remove, they look at, well, how many of those are part-time, page positions versus some other things.
Okay.
I just had a quick question. You said Community Activity Committee. What was it? It was CAC?
Community Advisory Committee.
Advisory, excuse me.
Yeah.
Who are the people? Could we have the names of the people on that committee, please? Is that possible?
Amy,
No?
I
just
said
figured
that
other
I
people
would
wanted
be
to hear.
disciplined this time.
Okay.
you are welcome to bring that up in public comments.
Am I?
It's in the packet.
I've got to be fair to everybody.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I meant from our trustees, excuse
From the
me.
board.
I
From the
apologize.
board.
It wasn't clear.
Any additional questions from the board?
Could you say that out loud?
Say something.
Could you say that out loud so everybody can hear that? Since you're on the board? That the list is on the packet.
Well, that they're taking nominations from, here's a
Certain
list,
categories.
from leaders in the community.
Yeah.
Finding
All right,
it.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
We met with, yeah.
I'm sure that everybody knows that all of this is in the board packet, but in case you don't, it is in the board packet, and the board packet is online.
There we go.
It's page 4 of the monthly report.
Thank you.
I see progress compared to last month. A lot of interesting things, especially this community advisory task force, and let's keep the foot on the pedal and gather momentum on these initiatives. Any other comments?
Maybe I'm missing it. How often is the task force going to meet? I know it's got a limited duration, but how often will it meet?
We're thinking once a month, just
Okay.
because we don't want to, I hate to say, overrun people who, are busy lives, but
Yeah.
we're thinking once a month.
And will the meetings be open to the public?
Right now, yeah, I think we're going to have them be open to the public. I think that's what we were talking to the Northfield Village Manager about it, and she has successfully done these, and she recommended it as a way to connect with the community. So I definitely thought, yeah, let's do that.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good to have the mix of both Winnetka and Northfield folks, so we can talk about the different priorities and understand. I think that's good.
Great. Moving on.